This is the Dynasty Market Report for Shedeur Sanders, where we look at a specific asset in Dynasty Fantasy Football, be it a pick, player. We look at how it's moving in the market and where I think you should get in or get out, or how you can just manipulate the market. And I think with Shedeur Sanders, this is one of the prime reasons we do this video series. Because what you think of Shedeur Sanders doesn't actually matter that much. If you want to become great at fantasy football, one of the tricks is you don't need to have player takes. What you need to be great at doing is finding the other managers in your league and gauging what they think of players. Because I'm looking at the trade values for Shedeur, who has a lot of question marks about his future. Is he the starter for the Browns? We're not sure. The Browns have the 6th pick and the 24th pick. Do they trade up and take a new starter? Do they trade Shedeur to a QB needy team and use that pick to move up and take a starter? There's a lot of stuff that could happen. Do they sign someone to compete with him in camp and maybe they take over? Does Deshaun Watson come back and is he the starter? There's a ton of open room for what could happen, and what actually happens doesn't matter. Once you can separate yourself from having takes and trying to predict the future and just playing off of the other managers in your leagues and their takes is where you can start to get big value wins. So I'm going to pull up some trades for Shedeur Sanders and we'll talk about what I mean. So here are some real trades. If we're looking at values for Shedeur Sanders, we're going to walk through a couple of these and show where you can get him for cheaper and then where you can move him for more. Because if that's something you can do this offseason, you can just get a massive value win trading for a player you never start. You can do this with picks as well, trading for things that will go up in value. But I don't see enough people talking about how you can just do this with players. So I've got real trades for Shedeur Sanders. On screen is where we have the scoring settings available, and then you can see badges for each scoring in each trade. Let's find some of the low end deals, because I think you can get Shedeur Sanders for, right here, a couple 3rd round picks, the 303 and 310 in this year's draft. I got Shedeur Sanders in a rookie draft last year with the 301. So if I can get the 303 and 310, we did go up in value. His value has gone up, but I think you can then take this side of the trade and go get more. Here, someone sent these 2 picks and then someone could send Shedeur for the 208. I probably would rather have the 208 than those. That's debatable for people, but you can find better ones here. Shedeur for these 3rd round picks, and then someone could take Shedeur and trade them for, I saw this one earlier, just a Rondé Gadsden. He'll be a 2nd-year tight end for the Chargers. I know they're moving on from Greg Roman, who is an offensive coordinator who favors the tight end in their offense, but I think Gadsden is still going to be a big part of the Chargers offense. And then we're just kind of removing question marks. Like, we don't know what Shedeur is going to be. If I could get him for a couple 3rds and then move him for Gadsden, that's a massive value win. Here's another deal. Someone sent Shedeur Sanders and just got the 110, which is about the value that I would put on Gadsden. So it is a similar value crossover, but same idea. Even if you had to send the 208 for Shedeur and then traded him a little bit later for the 110, now you might be in leagues where people look at what you sent to get someone and say, well, I can't give you more. But you can also just do this and wait, or do this in a cycle. If you sent the 208 for Shedeur and then later traded Shedeur for someone like Zay Flowers, Zay Flowers is easily able to get you the 110 or a 27 first, which is around what I would a crossover, 110, 111, 112 for any random 27 first. That's all kind of the same to me for my teams. Looking at other deals, Shedeur for Ricky Pearsall. Maybe we're not getting up to a 1st round pick or Gadsden, but if I'm trading 2/3, I would rather have Ricky Pearsall. So sometimes when we're looking at these picks we're trading for players that one manager just doesn't believe in and sending them to a manager in our league that does believe. There's a guy I'm in a league with that has made some horrible trades. And right now, I haven't asked him what he thinks of Sanders. It could go either way. One of the things that makes someone bad at fantasy football is they trust their takes and they go with it. And their takes are probably kind of bad. So if he likes Shedeur and is in, like, I have Sanders, I could sell him to this guy for quite a bit. You just have to be asking because the market is wide open. Wouldn't you much rather have the 201 than 2/3? And if you can swing that in your league through a sequence of trades over the next couple weeks this offseason, that's a big value win for a player you never have to even start. That's why we're doing the Dynasty Market Report. because we can find situations like 301 and 408. That's even cheaper than what we saw before with the 303 and 310. A 408 is basically nothing. You'll have the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'd count 5 guys before it's just free agents. And then you could take Shedeur and trade him for the 201, or like we saw earlier, the 110, or you could probably swing him for someone like, I don't know, Jordan Addison easily. We saw Ricky Pearsall. There's a lot of guys that you can be getting, and you can get them for really cheap. So that's going to bring us to the end of this video. If this helps you make a trade or see trading in Dynasty differently, let me know with a like and a subscribe. If there's a specific player you want to see the Dynasty market report on, let me know in the comments, and we will add them to the list and move them up the list to get them out sooner. Right now, while the playoffs are still happening, we're typically looking at players from teams that are already eliminated and have been for about a week so that we can collect good trade data. But let me know, and we will get them done. If people are liking these, we can increase them to 2 a day, 3 a day to get more players churning through. Just let me know with likes, subscribes, and comments, and we'll gauge the interest. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next one.